Good morning. We are in the last day of summer today. Officially tomorrow, it will be the first day of fall, and it kind of feels like it this morning too. You'll notice that we are at the bus garage in front of our activity buses and our daily Yalla transportation, and we're here for a particular reason. But as fortune would have it, Chris Lee and I happen to be within 100 yards of each other, and Chris and I have worked together on several occasions because if you don't know Chris is our head lead engineer for the Department of Transportation for this area. And so whenever we have a road concern or whenever we have a need to collaborate and to fix some things, examples would be the traffic in town right now has been pretty heavy, and I picked up the phone and you have helped us work through adjusting some stoplights.
Sure.
And we've noticed some improvement since then, and I noticed this week there was some more work that was going on for that. So I want to thank you and the Department of Transportation for everything that you do to help us out. Whenever we have winter weather concerns, I just have to pick up the phone, and within a matter of minutes, somebody is headed towards where the problem is. So thank you for that. Now, I would believe, Chris, that one of the reasons that is true is because you're a Maroon Devil at heart, aren't you?
Yes, a 1993 graduate of Swain High School. So I'm a proud Maroon Devil and am fortunate enough to have found a way to work in this community and help make it a better place. So.
And I don't want anyone who might watch this from Jackson County or somewhere else to think that gives us necessarily too much of a leg up in the process, because I know that you're very fair and effective in all that you're doing, but we are grateful. Now, the reason that we're here, Chris, today is because next week is a very important week for us, and it has to do with having enough bus ridership. Would you say that your funding is affected very much like our funding in that we have to prove our effectiveness and our efficiency in what we're doing?
Constantly. It is a constant process of acquiring data, good data, to try to make better decisions on how we spend our taxpayer dollars. So that's exactly what we're in a constant process of doing is, recognizing our needs, proving that we have them with the data, and then going to ask for it. So it sounds like exactly what you're doing here today. You're collecting that data to help make decisions and maybe go ask for, additional resources. So yes, it is a constant thing we do to try to make sure we're spending that taxpayer dollars effectively and putting it in the right places. So yeah, constantly.
And that's exactly what we're going to do next week. And it's a state mandated week where we calculate the number of students both evening and morning. It's called Ridership. And then we send that in, and the powers that be in Raleigh will look at those numbers and determine how effective we are, how efficient we are on our routes, and then they'll use that to calculate what kind of funding that we receive. Most people probably don't know that our Yalla buses are completely funded through state sources, and we are allotted a certain number of buses for replacements probably per year or per every other year. Now, activity buses are a little bit different. Activity buses are school-based owned. We have to cover ourselves on those. We were looking the other day at the potential of adding another activity bus or replacing a motor, and it came out that a new activity bus would run somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 to $110,000. That's a lot of money from our local budget.
Sure.
And so we would have to calculate, just like you said, and ask for additional funding. But it's important for us that you have everyone as you possibly can, as many as you possibly can, to ride our Yalla buses morning and evening next week, because those numbers will go in, and then they will determine how much funding we get from that. Transportation is not as inexpensive as it used to be with the cost of diesel fuel. I bet that you have seen increases in your spending because of fuel cost and equipment cost in the last probably 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah, and DOT manages a gigantic fleet. We've got hundreds of pieces of equipment ranging from the yellow trucks you see on the road to bulldozers. So we have a very unique fleet but it's the key to our success to be able to deliver our highway services. So to do so, it takes a lot of trying to manage that resource. But we have seen the cost increase of the maintenance costs, the vehicle purchase costs.
Yes.
Our model may be different than yours. Our ability to replace our fleet is based on utilization. We have to use them and expend their life to get a new one, and so that means we need the funding to be able to deliver more work. Yes. To use it's kind of a circle, and so also with the downturn of the ability to get new vehicles, it's been very difficult for DOT to replace our fleet in the way we've done in the past. So that's been a challenge. Yes. The cost of ownership, operation, fuel cost, and the ability to replace has been very challenging since the pandemic. So we're still just kind of adjusting to that, but it affects our operations. There's really no doubt that it can hurt the services we offer.
And that's true all the way into our homes as well, because we've all seen the fact that the dollar doesn't seem to go as far as it used to. Right. And so we see the increase in wages and all that goes along with that. Another place that we have seen extreme increases in cost is in our food and nutrition program. And we struggle every month to make sure that we have everything that we need there. So again, it's important that all of our students are eating lunch and breakfast, because it's free for all students right now. However, the amount that we are reimbursed is contingent upon the number of students that are actually eating. We've seen improvements. Mm-hmm. We've seen our breakfasts go up by 50%. We've seen our lunches overall go up by about 20%. We really need to see more than that. Sure. So in those two areas, I'm here today, first of all, to say thank you, but also to ask for your help. Please have your sons and daughters, your neighbors, your relatives ride the Yalla buses next week. Also, please have your students, the same people, eat in the cafeteria for breakfast and for lunch, so that we can make sure that we have the funding to cover all of those, because ultimately jobs are associated with this. Just like in your work, the funding and the ability for us to accomplish things requires people. And so we're talking about local jobs. So thank you for your help with that. Thank you, Chris, for being here today and for being willing on the spot to come and talk to us. I really wanted to stand beside somebody who's a lot better looking than me anyhow. And that's what we've accomplished today. So thank you, Chris. Hey, God bless all of you all. Thank you for being part of our Swain County Schools family, and we are so honored to be part of yours. If you ever need anything, pick up the phone and give us a call. We're here to help you. Have a great day.